what cinema is or movies, you don't have to, doesn't necessarily to move the camera. The human face, the story being told by a person in the frame is the key thing, just completely. And if it isn't there, for me, it doesn't work.
That's the case with most people, I guess. The technicalities like camera movement, sound design and editing are all important, no doubt, but they are all used with respect to the performance of an actor. Directors funnel their narratives through actors, but acting in cinema can be a little tricky because you act for the camera, not for the real audience.
But then she gave me some advice. She said, I'll just tell you something, don't act. You don't have to act, stop acting. Don't push it on camera, let the camera do the work. Most of the time, the general rule was just keep it simple. Do less.
However, in Hindi mainstream cinema, doing more is considered as the right way of acting. And the popularity of this method has led to a lot of actors being hailed as great actors when they are at the most good, or average, or simply garbage.
You're just another cheap match where involved बनने का नाटक कर रहा है.
Over the course of 100 years, the nature of film acting changed significantly.
Acting in the 20s and the 30s and the beginning of the film business was about glamour. Acting during the war affected acting in films, and then it became about strength. And then in the anti-heroic period, it became about having the private moment in public. And then now we've arrived at another place where great acting is to be physically fit. Fitness is great acting in the movies today.
However, certain characteristics remain constant throughout this period. First of which is believability. An actor can use a lot of crutches to oversell certain emotions, like freezing facial muscles to sell the act of crying or flaring nostrils to show anger. These are the moments when actors want you to believe what they are doing. But great actors make you believe in the emotions they portray. They do that by putting a lot of effort into building the character by way of fusing their own personality into the personality of the character. Because ultimately, the primary objective is to recreate private moments in public.
Would you recreate private behavior in front of a crew of 100 people? I mean, really recreate it. Really lose your mind. Really break your heart. Really do this. Make it happen in front of us.
But being believable is not enough. The next important thing is being unpredictable. Audiences are smart when it comes to predicting characters' action. Even if an actor builds the character, the chances of her becoming predictable are quite high. These are the moments when audience say that the acting was flat. What they really mean is that the actor failed to surprise them. Great actors build a great sense of mystery around them. So even when you know and understand the character, you never get an idea how they are going to react to certain situations.
You talking to me?
Throughout The Godfather Part 1 and 2, Michael never acts out any violence himself. Therefore, this moment comes across as a great surprise. Similar moment is when an introverted and seemingly innocent Hannah emphatically justifies her action of letting people die.
We couldn't just let them escape. We couldn't. We were responsible for them.
Of course, this all stems from great writing. But it is up to an actor to elevate written words into something that is quite palpable. Here's an excerpt from There Will Be Blood for comparison.
I was lost, but now I'm found.
I have abandoned my child.
Abandoned my child.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
Performances of this caliber can happen only when an actor allows herself to be affected by the material from inside out, when she allows herself to be vulnerable in front of the camera. Bad actors guard themselves with an aura of invincibility. They either hide behind the stardom or the baggage of their previous success or sell their eccentricities in the name of acting. It always keeps them as a distant performer, whereas great actors will always share parts of themselves they keep hidden from the world. With each new character, they put a different version of themselves in that character. It can be ugly, it can be mean, lonely, scared, sorrowful, or devastating. None of the great moments occur on their own. Great acting is a teamwork. And for the teamwork to produce great results, an actor needs to be ridiculously good at listening. How important is listening?
That is the most important thing of all.
That's everything.
It's essential,
I would put that very high on the list of things.
It's certainly the most important thing is in acting.
I think the listening is the first thing you come with.
If you can't listen, then you can't do it.
An actor who knows how to listen is an actor that as a director you can cut to any time.
How do you do it? And she said, well, I just listen. And you listen.
Once you listen, it's like a tennis game.
To me, listening is
being able to be changed by the other person. It's not hearing them, it's not waiting for your cue, it's not when are they going to stop so I can talk. It's letting them in.
Listening is important because at the heart of hearts, great acting is great reacting. And to react with right expressions and natural timing, you need to listen. I mean really listen. And when it's done properly, you get moments like these.
कहाँ खर्चा किया तुमने उसे? तुम्हारा बिजनेस तो ठप पड़ा हुआ है। अन्नू को क्या दिया तुमने?
बकवास बंद करो एकदम। बकवास बंद। पकड़ इसको। पकड़ इसको। पागल हो गया? ऐसी घर पे बैठ के मनगढ़ंत ऊटपटांग कहानियां बनाते रहती है बस।
This in fact is a perfect scene to understand the difference between great acting and soulless acting. Here, Fawad and Siddharth look like waiting to say their lines with same expressions and same intensity, whereas Rajat Kapoor and Ratna Pathak seem to react to every line spontaneously and differently, gradually intensifying the scene. They are not just saying dialogues, they are actually having a verbal fight and they mean every single word. But delivering dialogue is just one of the many things an actor has to do. In fact, for average actors, saying dialogue in a stylistic manner is a job well done. Whereas for great actors, saying their lines is incidental. The real deal is the way they use their entire body. Now there's a misconception that has grown over the years where extreme physical transformation has become a parameter for great acting. Gaining or losing weight or adopting different accents are all important, no doubt. But ultimately, they are external factors. Sometimes they are minute details and sometimes an ornament. The secret lies in how actors use their entire body to build a performance. How do they move within a frame or with respect to the camera? How do they vary the timbre of their voice for different characters? These decisions add a great deal of depth to their performance. In There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis uses aggressive postures and a spring in his movement to portray dominance, whereas in Lincoln, his slouched shoulders and slow movement portrays the weight of responsibilities. Notice his voice in both the films.
One night I'm going to come to you inside of your house, wherever you're sleeping, and I'm going to cut your throat.
We're stepped out upon the world stage now. Now! With the fate of human dignity in our hands.
If you're going to work in a creative field of any kind, you give yourself over to that.
In The Aviator, Cate Blanchett uses a high-pitched voice to match Hepburn's timbre.
He's a urologist, but it's all tied up inside the body, don't you find?
Whereas in Carol, her graceful voice expresses maturity.
You have no idea how pleased I am for you.
And this is just a ridiculous level of brilliance.
If you already know the answers to your questions, then why ask? Pig fuck!
I'd only just handed them the final scene when the bellhop told me I had a phone call.
Now consider all these parameters: believability, unpredictability, vulnerability, ability to listen and react, and the use of body. Now can you apply all of them in the same scene?
Sir, आपसे कुछ पूछना चाहता हूँ.
Of course you can. In this scene, Sheikh wants to invite Fernandez to his wedding as his guardian. But he hesitates as their relationship hasn't even reached a level of friendship. So he sets up entire context before reaching the point. It is believable because that's the way people approach conversation with power hierarchy. In addition, Sheikh's serious approach to the conversation contrasts his over-enthusiastic personality portrayed in the film till this point, which is quite surprising. His vulnerability is also at display as he indirectly talks about his loneliness, which is accentuated by the way he continuously looks down in his plate. And all this while, Fernandez listens to him carefully, gets affected by his words, and accepts the invitation. Now that is great acting. Another important criterion to define a great actor was noted by Stella Adler. To paraphrase her, the greatest talent of an actor lies in her choices. That, I think, stands above everything. Every single acting technique and its implementation depends on the choice an actor makes. It is the primary reason behind actors getting trapped in a loop of self-aware redundancy and actors constantly pushing their limits through variety of characters. It is the difference between actors continuously playing it safe by selecting characters with moral high ground and actors who continuously play risky characters dealing in moral grey areas. Talent for making right choices, daring and risky choices is what helps an actor build not just a great filmography, but a legacy through their movies.
You sure of that? I'm sure of that. Guaranteed.
So the next time you watch an actor perform, don't accept anything that is not believable and truthful. Because the primary job of an actor is to hold the mirror up to society. In that process, if they entertain you, that's fine. If it earns them a lot of money, that's fine. But they should, under all circumstances, hold the mirror up to society. Through their portrayal of characters, we, the audience, examine our own lives. So it is an actor's responsibility to be truthful. They owe it to the script and to the audience. And for those of you who are at an early stage of their acting career, here's a bit of advice.
Live in front of people. Live in front of people. Let them see the good, the bad, the ugly, the weak, the strong, the conflicted, the terrible. One of the things about acting that gives me the greatest satisfaction is the opportunity for that emotional exercise.